imagine I just recorded a whole intro in slow-mo. I didn't even realise until I watched it back. But anyway, hi guys, hope everyone is good. I just wanted to say thank you for all the love that you guys showed on the first video that I put up. I'm so grateful. I haven't had a chance to get back to everyone's messages because sometimes, to be honest, I just get a bit of overwhelm. But I'm so grateful to everyone who sent me messages, both on YouTube and on Instagram. All right, I'm coming. Let Israel give you some. Israel, give her a little bit, please. But yeah, it doesn't matter. I just wanted to show you this quickly before I jump in the shower, because once I've showered, you won't be able to see once I've like moisturized. But this is basically like a symptom of the diagnosis that I was given. I can never say the name properly, but basically just means exfoliated dermatitis, where the skin kind of flares up and it gets all of these like big chunky flakes, and then it will fall off and kind of like leave sort of new skin. It's not really new skin, but and it just does this all over my body. So my legs especially, it's like really flaky. It's got flakes all over, and then they kind of dry up and then they fall off and then they come back. I don't know how long that's going to last for, and I don't know, it's kind of discouraging because I feel like that's what happened when my body was healing. And so I'm not sure whether is this healing, I don't know. I don't know, I just don't know. There's so many firsts with this time around, especially with the swollen feet, and I'm like, I don't know what stage I'm at in my healing process. It's very confusing, but this is where we're at. So yeah, this literally came up a day ago. It was weeping and it was sore and it was like really painful all night. I couldn't sleep, and then now it's come up with all of this, and it will probably fall off between today and tomorrow, and then the process will probably start again at some point. But yeah, my face is clearing up though. That's positive, something to focus on. It's not as crazy as it was before. Yes, babe, as you saw in the videos. But anyway, in this video I wanted to talk about like holistic healing versus conventional or mainstream conventional healing, and why I've chosen to go down the holistic route as always. I'm working with an Ayurvedic practitioner for my treatment. We've got a 3-month program going on, and today is my last day of the skin treatment that we were doing for the last 5 days, and I'll talk a little bit more about that as well. But let me go and get ready because I'm secretly running late, and yeah, and I'll let you know basically what I'm doing. Hi. How are you doing? I'm fine, thank you. Just wanted to show you the realities of dealing with this thing. So my legs have been weeping since I've lost count of the hours. I'm supposed to be getting ready for bed, so I went in the shower I didn't even wash really properly. I just kind of like used water to wash them down and used a bit of herbal soap to just go over it, and it's just been weeping since. Look how much I've already used, like I think I'm on my 2nd or 3rd roll of tissue of just cleaning it up or trying to mop it up, and I've realised it got to the point where it's like the weeping's just not going to stop. So I have to go to sleep like this and just wrap myself with towels so it doesn't affect me too much in the night. But I think honestly, of all the symptoms that we go through dealing with eczema, I think this is definitely one of the worst ones. I can't stand the weeping. It's like I could be on a high all week despite my skin, and then as soon as it starts weeping, it's like I crash down because I just can't take it. It's absolutely horrible. My legs are just wet, and it's like it leaks so much water, honestly, that if I was to stand still, I would make a puddle on the floor, all the way up here. Just wet. Just wet. If you can see, it's just wet. That's not cream. That's just water oozing from me, like, just wet. Can you see it? So 5 minutes later, after just leaving it alone, you can see exactly what I'm talking about. It's just constantly wet. Because of the time, I think I've been cleaning this up for about an hour and a half now. I'm tired, I'm going to bed. And I'll just shower in the morning. Slight change of scenery. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of go over like my thoughts on holistic versus like conventional medicine. So like for me personally, most people know that because of the experience that I had in the past with eczema and topical steroids, as well as like issues that my son had with injectables, you know, childhood injectables when they're young, I just didn't trust conventional or mainstream medicine anymore, and it just made me, you know, go into like swaves and swaves of research to realize that I wanted to be able to take care of my own health. So yeah, basically there's loads of different factors that people can have when it comes to eczema, especially when it's chronic like mine, where it's like literally everywhere. Sometimes there's a more serious reason other than just diet, or I don't even know what else. But sometimes there's a more serious reason, and like because eczema is like a blanket term for any sort of like skin condition that presents itself in the body, it's very difficult for you to pinpoint what's what. And so sometimes a lot of people are being treated with medications that are not necessarily conducive for what they're going through, but they're using it anyway because that's all they have and that's all they know. So for example, I'm going to try and keep it like to the point, to the conversation, so I don't waffle on for too long. But like for example, with my eczema, where it is now, majority of it I would say was a fungal infection. It wasn't actually eczema at all. There was eczema underlying, but my body literally got taken over with a fungal infection. And I kind of know why. I was exposed to mold, so I was traveling or whatever, and the bed that I was sleeping on, I didn't realize had rot underneath the bed. This has happened to me before. This is the catalyst of my breakout of eczema the first time. The problem is that after this exposure, I did some detox protocols, but I overdid it. Let's just put it that way. I way overdid it to the point where I had depleted my body of the necessary nutrients and things needed that would actually help me to fight any infection. And so that's why it literally took over. But if I was to go to the GP, which I did, I went to the hospital, and they basically said, oh, what's on my body right now is just eczema and the swelling feet and all that stuff. It's just inflammation. But I know intuitively, and because of what I've experienced in the past, I'm dealing with a fungal infection, but they didn't even notice that. So anyway, long story short, the reason why I prefer like holistic methods of healing to conventional methods of healing is because with a holistic method, you get to learn how your body works. Now my lips dry. You get to learn how your body works. You get to learn what works for you, what doesn't work for you. You get to find out what your triggers are. I feel like with conventional medicine, it takes too much responsibility away from the patient, in the sense that it's like, oh, take this medication and then you'll be fine. But that's not how life works. I don't think you're really learning anything that way. Also, because of the protocols, like I said, when you're dealing with eczema on this level, there could be so many different underlying reasons why you're dealing with eczema, but the GP or the doctor's never going to look that far. So again, I'll use myself as an example. Say this time round, obviously I've got eczema, some form of eczema, but underlying I've just got a fungal infection that's just taken over my whole body. I go to the GP and they'll say, okay, we're going to give you, so yeah, they would give you maybe antibiotics, steroid cream, etc, etc. But then you're forgetting that when you're taking certain medicines, you're eliminating toxins, parasites sometimes. And so they give you all this medication, your body starts to detox, and then if your drainage pathways are not open, your drainage pathways, meaning your liver, your kidneys, your lymphatic system, all of the systems that basically excrete toxins. If you have eczema on your body already, it means those detox pathways are not efficient, hence why you're presenting with rashes all over the skin. So if you put like all of the toxins that you get from the die-off symptoms of the antibiotics, etc., it just regurgitates in your body. And that's why people find that when they're given medication from conventional medicine, especially when it comes to skin disease, it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse, because you're not eliminating the actual issue. So I just wanted to show you something quickly. I went to the hospital the other day, and I was actually given a diagnosis for what I've got. It's called, I think it's Erythroderma. I'll put it on the screen somewhere. And when you read the symptoms or the condition, it sounds really scary because it talks about it being a life-threatening condition, etc. But I've already explained this in the last video. If you've got eczema all over your body, or any sort of skin condition all over your body like I have, your life is already threatened because your skin is not acting as a barrier. So that didn't scare me. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, and it just basically said that to treat erythroderma, obviously there's no cure for it, but to treat it, you need to go on antibiotics. You need to, be high, like get a lot of electrolytes into your body. I forgot what the other one was, but basically you can do that yourself. So for me, I'm working with a practitioner over here, and I've got like some natural antibiotics. I'll show you. So this is a natural antibacterial, antibiotic formula. And if you look at the ingredients, it's literally just herbs. So you've got echinacea extract, garlic, burdock root, mulcasan, red clover, reishi mushroom, turmeric, olive leaf, astragalus, barberry, grapefruit seed oil, neem oil, palo d'arco, golden seal powder, and caprylic acid, which is basically coconut oil. So looking at this, if you know anything about herbs, you know this is going to be very expellatory, which is going to, it's going to erase, it's going to get rid of parasites, it's going to get rid of any sort of like bugs and bacteria in your body. But like I said, this is all herbs, so you're able to eliminate the bad bacteria and toxins without destroying your gut microbiome at the same time. And that's another thing that's really important when it comes to overcoming eczema. Then I've got some liver support tablets, which I take in the morning to help support my liver to detoxify. These are Tulsi drops, basil drops. This is for my immunity, to build up my immunity. And then one of the most important things that we need to have is vitamin C, at least 1,000 meg of vitamin C every single day. And then in addition to that, at least 50 meg of zinc every day is really, really important, because the zinc and the vitamin C together is what's going to help rebuild your skin. If your body's lacking in zinc, you're going to find it very difficult to build up your immunity and very difficult to allow your skin to heal. And that's one of the other things that I've kind of had to learn throughout this period as well. The last principle that I wanted to mention, it was a term that was coined by Dr. Jess on Instagram. But basically her method is kill, bind and sweat. And so, as I said, when you're dealing with eczema on this level, you're dealing with fungus, parasites, bacteria, all sorts of stuff going on in your gut. And so while you're killing these organisms, and while you're killing off things in your body that shouldn't be there, you're going to get a die-off reaction that is going to be worse than your actual condition to begin with, if you don't follow the protocol properly. Because as I said, if you're killing all of these things, it's gonna expel it, but it's gonna stay in your body because your detox pathways are not moving. So as it says, kill, bind, sweat, the first thing you want to do is to kill off the parasites, kill off the germs, kill off the bacteria. That's what the anti-B formula and those herbs are for. You can use bitters, you can use like things like wormwood, oregano oil. There's so many different herbs you can use to do that. It doesn't even have to be exactly what I'm using or whatever. If you go to a holistic practitioner, they'll be able to help you. But you want to kill, then you want to bind. You don't want to allow these toxins just to roam free in your body, because like I said, it's just going to re-poison you. So you need to take a binder at the same time that you're taking the antibiotics. So for me, I try and keep things as natural as possible. You can get a really good binder that's been formulated, and it will just trap all of the toxins and take them out of your body so it doesn't re-poison you. But I'm using chlorella, because chlorella is an amazing binder. And I think one of the other reasons why I wanted to use chlorella instead of like other binders, also spirulina is good too, is because chlorella as a binder is really intelligent. It's able to bind to toxins and bind to like pathogens within the body and not take your minerals at the same time. Whereas other binders, it just kind of collects everything, which is, again, for me, counterproductive. I want to get better as soon as possible. So I want the toxins and the pathogens and the bacteria to be eliminated, but I need the minerals that I'm eating, I'm getting from my food to stay in my body as well. Because, guys, at one point I was so weak. I literally depleted my body to nothing, doing all of these detoxes. And that was a lesson learned for me. You cannot do detoxes back to back. It doesn't matter whether your skin looks like it's improving or not. You need to give your body a break, and I didn't do that. I almost broke my body, actually, in fact, but we'll get there, and lessons have to be learned. So yeah, as I said, I forgot to vlog my session with the holistic practitioner and the treatments I was doing there, but I do have a lymphatic massage tomorrow, so I will take you with me briefly just to see how that goes. And the lymphatic massage is simply because I've still got swollen feet. It's not as bad as it was before, but my feet and my legs are still very swollen, and so I'm going to try and see if I can get my lymphatic system moving properly so I can get this fluid shifted from my legs. So yeah, I'm probably going to go 3 times this week, but I will take you with me tomorrow so you can see how it goes. And let me know in the comments how you guys feel about what I was saying about holistic versus conventional. Because one of the things that I definitely know for sure is that on a conventional route, you're not going to have that one-to-one care with the doctor that's going to be able to follow you through from beginning to end of your healing journey, and that's really important. They're going to give you, like I said, these drugs, likely going to make you more sick because they're not following the protocol of binding and sweating. They're just kind of like, take this medication, you'll be fine, and then all the pathogens, bacteria, or parasites will die inside your body and stay there because you haven't eliminated them properly. So yeah, that's for me the most important thing. It needs to be an all-rounded approach. I think it's pointless to throw medicine at any disease, any sickness, and not know what that medicine is doing or how it's supposed to do it, because you'll never get better that way. Even if you do get better, if you get sick again, you're not going to know how to recover yourself. Do you get what I mean? So yeah. Hey. So for the last few weeks, everything's been going amazing. My skin's been healing up. All of the patches on my face cleared up. Everything just cleared up. And then out of nowhere, I haven't had any weeping. And my feet, the swelling on my feet has pretty much gone down. And then out of nowhere, as always, this morning I woke up and I felt really itchy. And then when I scratched, I realised that basically my legs had started weeping again. This is all water from my legs. It looks like I just got out of the shower. This is everywhere. But I'm not going to be discouraged, even though this is like the worst thing about having eczema is the weeping. I really can't stand it. But the last time I had this, this was like the beginning of the healing process. When it started to weep and shed all the time. Anyway, I'm gonna jump in the shower because I feel just really disgusting, and then I'll just colour you in a minute. So I've come out the shower. I don't know if you can see, but most of the scales that were on my skin have come off, and it's left behind like this smooth, really smooth, very, very, very thin skin behind. But it's not weeping anymore, so that's good. Even though I think it might weep in the evening. And as you can see, the swelling in my feet is going down too. It's not as big as it was before. But yeah, overall, it's healing. It's healing. Just soaking in the morning sun. Getting that vitamin D in my skin, you know. Glowing up this melanin. Alright, I'll give you some more. But yeah, every morning I try and get out in the sun and spend at least an hour in the morning because, yeah, the sun is healing. That's what I'm doing. So today is the 1st of April. It's a new month. I'm looking forward to seeing all the progress that I make with my skin. Since the last video, my skin has improved so much. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I mentioned a cannabis tea that I've been drinking pretty much every day. It's made such a massive difference to my skin. And if you research like the benefits of cannabis and CBD, etc., even THC, which is like the psychoactive component, it's very good for inflammation, and it really like reduces inflammation. So I'm not surprised that since I've been drinking it, my skin has greatly improved. Obviously I've still got a long way to go, but it's not as inflamed as it was before. My skin has cleared up majority on my face. It's not as bad as it was before either. So yeah, it's taking time, it's getting there. I think one thing that people kind of fail to realize is that when you're dealing with any sort of chronic condition, it will never heal itself overnight. I think if it took, I would say it took about 5 months to get to this point, 4 months to get to this point. You have to think it could take at least that same amount of time to reverse. And so you have to be really patient with yourself when it comes to your healing, and not get frustrated even when it seems like you're being set back. Like I always tell people that I feel eczema heals in waves, and if you study like how the skin functions, that makes sense to me as well, because the skin only replenishes itself like every 30 days. And so if it's constantly pushing out toxins every 30 days, it means that instead of your skin kind of being renewed, it's kind of like getting a new layer of dirt, so to speak. But once the toxins are kind of like emptied out, then your skin will start to renew. So just give it time, be patient. I know it's frustrating, even me sometimes. I'm like, oh, for flip's sake. It seems like it's healing so much, and then it starts to get another layer of crustation over it. But yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there.